Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the privacy and the security editions. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are streaming on 5 different platforms: YouTube, Odyssey, Rumble, Twitch, and DLive. You can find the links to all of those in the description of wherever you are finding this. But if you do not want to support the tubies, you can do that. Of course, we have super chats. YouTube does take 30%. Rumble only takes 20%. So if you are looking to do super chats and don't want to give the overlords as much, Rumble might be a better option. But I don't know. I've never actually extracted money from Rumble. I don't know how that'll work. We'll see. We'll see when we figure it out. But anyway, let's go ahead and get on into this guy here. So first up, we just have an update from The Verge. Of course, we've been talking about these period trackers since the post-Roe situation. That's like the new catchphrase, the post-Roe. Post-Roe. Can we talk about the thousands of years pre-Roe, please? Anyway, I have said, though, and I stand by it, that the greatest thing after the Supreme Court overturns Roe versus Wade is that people actually think they have things to hide. It's making us in the privacy world so much happier to understand that we do indeed have things to hide. And so the Flow period tracker launches the anonymous mode to fight abortion privacy concerns. Disconnects user data from identifying information. Well, congratulations. Why can't every app do this? Of course, I can't remember if we have it in our news, or maybe I threw it out because it was just like a giant boring piece. But, there's this conflict. Oh, well, the people, they want privacy, and the businesses, they don't want the people to have privacy. It's like, yeah. We got along just fine without you collecting every bit of data and leaking it all over the place. But anyway, now at least one app is now coming down and saying, hey, you do not actually have to, share all of your data. So if this gets people into thinking about privacy and the fact that we do have things to hide, hey, I'm all for it. So congratulations, people. You are finally coming around. There is many places around the world. United States is not yet one of them, but many places around the world, you have to tie a physical identification to a SIM card. So many places you cannot go out and buy a SIM card with cash and anonymously hook it up. And there is now, some people are talking about the privacy concerns of tying the SIM cards to real identities. Who'd have thunk it? I mean, I know it's kind of crazy, but the registration of SIM cards tied to verified identity is back in the news off the back of large-scale phone fraud in what some may call a knee-jerk response to a problem. There are calls to revive a legal bill and make it law. What's happening and what are the potential ramifications? In my personal take on the ideas and the ramifications is the challenge is it's too easy in our world to steal somebody's phone number. This is why I do not have any account tied to a phone number. It is completely and radically insecure. It is completely and radically easy to steal. And then as soon as somebody has compromised your phone, even if you go out and say, hey, my identity was stolen, blah, 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 you are still going to have a very hard time convincing every company under the sun that the person with your phone number isn't actually you. And so even if you take preemptive steps, if you have ever linked your phone number to these accounts, then these phone numbers are going to be the master switch, and that is what needs to be stopped. But anyway, they're kind of getting into SIM registrations. There's the risks of it. There are many potential harmful privacy issues with ID tying to SIM. Oppressive regimens are all too happy for people to trying to evade censorship, become tangled up. Yep. People and families at risk of domestic abuse may struggle to register a SIM in situations where money is tight. And you can almost guarantee any such data will be plugged into marketing and advertising. We need to stop, though, thinking about marketing and advertising as the end all. I'm going to do a video on this. I want to get a little bit more research on it, but the idea that, like, the biggest thing is, oh my Lord, our data is tied up into marketing. Marketing is the least of my concerns, okay? And it should be the least of yours. Oh, our data was harvested for marketing. Screw your marketing crap. The marketing crap is the Trojan horse. There are infinitely worse things that can be done with your data. Trust me. Well, Facebook engineers are not exactly sure where all user data is kept. Piggybacking on this article before I forget about it, I did not get a chance to get it, and the reports are just out today. But apparently Facebook had a behind-the-door, closed-door, in-bed meetings with the government to spy on everybody's private messages, and anyone who talked about any form of election fornication or any form of bangies or any form of anything that's kind of like not left-wing in a negative light, Facebook was literally taking this data, passing that information on out to the government, and then the government, of course, having the data illegally, would then try and find a reason to get a subpoena from a local judge to legally get the data they already have. That was yet another thing that Facebook was doing. And keep that in the back of your head for our next story, by the way. But in light of this, with the special master when the Facebook Cambridge Analytica scandal, as the high-level engineers at Facebook are being grilled by Congress, they were asked, where is this data stored? And the high-level people do not know. In fact, they even say in them, I do not believe there is a single person exists who can answer that question about where is data stored. They said personal data is stored in 55 different subsystems randomly, with a variety of different people having access to a variety of different information. Maybe on one end, that is a little bit more privacy focused and that no one person can go and get the data, but it's bad in that this stuff just leaks all over the place and there's all sorts of issues. And so nobody understands the depth of what Facebook has, including Facebook not even understanding the depths of what Facebook has. And this is a problematic thing why we should not be on Facebook. And now we're getting into this TikTok thing a little bit. So this kind of starts with a few Republicans asking questions about how much information the Communist Chinese Party can get about TikTok and TikTok users. Especially TikTok is collecting more data than Google is, even in its peak data collection days. May I remind you again, way before anybody else was talking about TikTok, I told you guys on this channel 5 years ago, TikTok is a dangerous company. It is run by ByteDance, who is a Chinese data collection and AI analytics firm. They are using this data to train AI for military-type purposes. That is the company behind TikTok, collecting all this data. And then this is raising questions about the people having access to all of this information. And so these people are saying, hey, what's going on here? And there's some back and forth. But don't worry, now there is a silent behind-the-scenes plan that TikTok is no longer considered a national security threat. Why? Their chief operating officer rebuffed U.S. senators who criticized companies for data practices during a hearing September 14th. Wall Street Journal reports TikTok COO Vanessa Papin said during a Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee hearing with other big tech executives that the company is nearing an agreement with the Committee on Foreign Investment, a federal board that reviews cross-border mergers. Papas did not comment on the specifics of the agreement, but said our final agreement with the U.S., the government will satisfy all national security concerns. Full story is from paywalled Wall Street Journal, so we're not going to click there, but you can grab this link here and click that if you have access to Wall Street Journal. So let's review. Facebook is told by the government to censor certain things, which may or may not have possibly altered some theoretical election not too long ago. And then Facebook is actually giving data back to the government. And now TikTok, which is a huge national security plan, is no longer a national security threat after deals with the government. Yeah. I can only imagine what type of deals those might happen to be. Probably those types of backdoor deals that are seriously problematic. So we don't know the details, and even in the Wall Street Journal article, to my understanding, those details are not specifically mentioned, but there we have it. Well, if you'd like to help support the channel, we do have affiliates today. We are highlighting Linode, and Linode can get you $100 in credit if you use my affiliate link, tlm.li/Linode. You'll get $100, which is good for 60 days. You can spin up as many Linodes as you want, test things out, try out VPNs, try out video streamers, audio streamers, restreamers, hosting websites, all sorts of fun stuff, and thousands of other apps available in their marketplace. But with this credit, $100 is good for 60 days on any new account. Has to be verified by a validated payment method just to verify and make sure it's a new account. And use that, and you can go ahead and get that credit and help the channel out. Now moving on to security news. North Face gets hit by a cred stuffing attack. Of course, cred stuffing is when your password leaks and then people take those passwords and try to stuff them into other places. Well, North Face was hit by such a cred stuffing attack. And if you happen to be reusing your North Face password with something else that is breached, they will have access to name, billing address, purchase history, shipping address, and telephone number. No payments. Payment details were accessed, which is very good for anybody impacted. No, payment details is the one thing that should be okay, good. They just got my credit card number. Because you know what? You can't easily change your billing address. You can't change your name. Your purchase history, who cares? Your shipping address, that's kind of frightening because, now they know where you're at. The telephone number, very difficult to change. Your credit card, one guy tries to use your credit card wrong. They flag it as fraud, give you a phone call, and send you a new card and change it. We are completely backwards on all this kind of stuff. It's like the privacy for marketing. Oh, well, don't worry, it's used for marketing. I'm not concerned about the marketing. I'm concerned about the fact if nobody else has noticed, the administration of our current United States government right now is insane. That's the biggest threat. Not that somebody's going to sell you an ad, because I run ad blockers to turn ads off. Nor am I really implied by that. And I'll tell you what, being a minimalist is awesome for anti-marketing crap because I just have no desire for stuff. All right, anyway, moving on. U-Haul also has a data breach. This one's a little bit worse in that they grab your driver's license information. That can be fixed as well, but yeah, problematic. Unknown threat actor managed to compromise 2 U-Haul unique passwords. So this basically meant that it was not a cred stuffing, but they were able to get into here somehow. Investigation determined an unauthorized person accessed the customer contract search tool and some customer contracts. So it's basically the contractor systems. You also had the announcement, though, didn't say how many customers were affected. Payment data is safe. Aforementioned, who cares? It's all of the other information, but driver's license, in addition to a bunch of other things, is also compromised. And that is, in and of itself, a little bit problematic. Well, Steam accounts, these are being phished with a browser-in-browser attack. So anybody using Steam, and this has to deal more with, it looks like some esports games. So if anybody's involved in esports and tournaments using Steam, you're the ones currently being targeted for this. Steam account credentials pushed in a browser attack. Basically what they're doing is, if you follow one of the links in here, they actually cover the details. I think it's this one here, the bleeping computer one. So basically what's going on here is using Chrome, and this is in Chrome browsers, using Chrome, they were able to throw up a fake Dropbox. So this is like a Dropbox login form, and this is the type of popover form. So being able to jump up and show you this type of popover form makes you think you're logging into an account. So here is from Facebook. So here's facebook.com. And here is this one here, log into Facebook. This is the phishing. This is the real. You can tell that they look identical. All right. And so these are very difficult to get around utilizing this browser-in-browser attack. And basically what they're doing is you're following along. You want to vote for your winner, and they're just going to push you the login link to log into your account easily to cast your vote. And unfortunately what happens there is that you are providing information into the browser-in-a-browser phishing scam, and your Steam credentials will be compromised. So be aware of that one. Our next one is, this one is being aware of malware spreading on gamers looking at YouTube cheats. So if you're a younger crowd and you're watching people play games on YouTube, what they're doing is they're getting some legitimate type of videos and then giving you a downloadable file, and you go ahead and download the file, and what it is it uses the Redline malware. The malware, there's a crypto miner in there, and then there is a third one which seeks to maintain persistence. Of course, if you are running Linux and not having Wine, you have no power here, .exe file. But for all you guys using Windows, this is going to be a problematic thing. So just be aware of links inside of YouTube videos to download the cheat files. That really is the source of this one. And finally, Microsoft Teams has a security flaw that lets hackers steal accounts, and Microsoft's like, we're not going to bother fixing it for a while. Who cares? It's low level. I mean, you have to have access to the server or something, Easy way to steal Microsoft Teams authentication tokens. A lot of this has to do with the fact that Teams is built on Electron, which apparently does not support any form of encryption. So you have a very difficult time hiding or encrypting your active tokens. And so if somebody gets into your system or finds a way to access your token cookies, they can get in and completely compromise your Teams account. Isn't that exciting? Because Microsoft is not nearly as good at security and privacy as you think they might be. Well, they're definitely not good on privacy. They've proved that over and over. Even on the security end, they're not particularly good at this kind of stuff. So just keep that kind of stuff in mind, that Microsoft is not always taking all of the security stuff for granted. Well, if you'd like to help support the channel, we do have a Patreon page, patreon.com/TOMM. This will help support all of the different channels we have. We also have a writing channel I'll get some things in here on eventually. But you can jump on over here and help support what we are doing. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.